Good evening, fembots and gentle droids. I am Zee Threepio, Human Cyborg Relations, welcoming you to our Monday night movie stream on the Trev Retro channel. I am your host for this evening, and I would be eternally grateful if you would smash that like and subscribe button. Now, with that out of the way, let's bring on our motley crew of androids, humanoids, and hemorrhoids to the stream. Oh, look, the John Travolta help desk. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Hello, I'm John Travolta.
You're not.
Well, is it my new hat?
It might very well be. Look at that. What a
Good
handsome devil.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Threepio, and good evening, chat. Nice to have you all with us tonight for this fantastic movie.
Oh, it is a fantastic movie.
It is.
One of my favourites. I first encountered this movie on a Nicolas Cage theme night with the missus. 3 movies I hadn't seen, all 3 were bangers, which was The Rock, Con Air, and tonight's movie, which is 1997's Face Off, directed by John Woo.
At least you didn't get to see Wicker Man, because that probably would have...
that probably would have spoiled the entire evening.
Yeah. Not the bees. We'll do that another time, I think.
But this one, absolutely full of action and a nice little sci-fi theme to it, which I quite like.
Yeah.
Starring John Travolta as FBI agent and Nicolas Cage as a terrorist who undergo an experimental surgery to swap their faces and identities. Face Off was the first Hollywood film that John Woo was given full creative control over. Previous movies like Hard Target, Broken Arrow, and even later one like Mission Impossible 2 had a bit of studio interference with it. But this one, he had a bit of a free rein. So they only demanded that they make one cut out of the movie. Do you know what that was?
Oh, please do tell me.
It's right at the beginning. Go on.
Is it the carousel scene?
It is part of the carousel scene. In fact, it's the part where Michael gets killed.
Oh, wow. Because I knew they had issues with the carousel scene about where to put it. I didn't realize they were actually taking an entire bit out of it. Interesting.
Well, I don't think you'd particularly like to watch a 5-year-old get a bullet.
No, I don't think anyone does.
No.
If you do, please seek help.
Definitely. So what's your experience with this movie?
Well, I saw this one in the late 90s. I've never been a fan of sort of like body horror and gore and stuff. So the idea of taking faces off and stuff has never quite appealed to me. Then I went through a bit of a Nicolas Cage renaissance where all of his stuff appeared to actually be quite good because he just chews the scenery like an absolute moron. And John Travolta obviously loves hammering things up. So when you put them against each other and then you swap their faces over so they kind of have to act as the other person, it worked surprisingly well. It was a great watch. I'm glad I did actually get around to watching it.
Excellent. And this had a budget of 80 million and earned 245 million worldwide. 11th highest film of 1997 and well deserved. And since its release, the film has gained a cult following and is considered to be one of Woo's best films. Although I've got to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of John Woo, and I thought Mission Impossible 2 was absolute garbage. I'll die on that hill.
No, you're absolutely right there. I think John Woo's later films started to slide. I think that's the a good way to put it. I think he had his magnum opus, those years where he did great movies and then they just kept on giving him work and he just didn't want to do it. So he kind of phoned it in towards the end.
Excellent. Now, do we have any more guests, or is Trev coming on with us?
I'm not aware. Oh, look.
Oh, there he is.
See, I mean, you are programmed for it after all.
Thank you very much. Well, I'm not very used to this setup, but obviously I'm going to fist through it as best I can.
Carry on regardless, sir. This is your stream tonight, so have fun with it.
Absolutely. And if you do decide that you do want to present something on here, then you're going to have to do it yourself. Don't rely on Trev. Please be gentle. Trev, tell me about your experience with this movie.
Well, I watched it about 7 a.m. this morning.
For the first time?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, pretty much. It's one of the wife's favourite films. But because it's on the wife's list, I tend to steer clear of film choices.
They're not usually that great then.
Well, she's not got very good taste, obviously, because she married me.
Fair enough. Understandable. Well, yeah, this was one of my wife's recommendations. So without further ado, let's get into the movie. And we open up here on a little carousel scene. What a great day he's having with his son there, Michael. Happy-go-lucky. And there's a strange man. There's a strange man on the hill. What's that? What's that by his feet there? It's a gun. Well, it's obviously Nick Cage, isn't it? What's he? Oh, he's going to off a little boy. This is an unfortunate start to the movie, isn't it, boys and girls?
Normally, you just give kids candy floss and sweets, but no, this one's getting a bullet.
Yeah. Oh, he's certainly taking aim there. He must really want this kid dead. And there it goes. Oh, straight through Dad. And that's Sean Archer there, riding a hobby horse on the carousel. And he's been hit by a nasty bullet that's gone straight through him.
Ow.
That's going to hurt. Oh, it didn't do the horse no good either.
Needed repaint anyway.
And Sean's on the ground. He's struggling, and he must have lost a ring or something, or his wallet, because he seems to be struggling along the ground there.
No, it's a carousel. It probably just knocked out his contact lens.
Yeah, quite probably.
Yeah.
Looks like his son's lost a contact lens too, or
terrible.
a pulse. I don't know. Oh,
nice porno tash.
That realization dawns. That's a fake tash, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like one out of a cracker at Christmas.
It is. It's just one that you clip into the bottom of your nose there.
Well, we know he's a world famous drug dealer at this point, so that's obviously, my stash. Hey.
And unfortunately, something bad has happened to little Michael there. Only 5 years old. It's his birthday next week. He's already bought the presents and thrown the receipts. He's not going to get a refund on those at all. 7 years later. Well, Sean is now 36 years old, and he's turned into a miserable old bastard, obsessed with catching the killer of his son, who is Castor Troy, world-renowned international terrorist, drugs dealer, and all-round not a nice person.
Just in case you didn't know what his name was.
Just in case.
Just in case.
And that's his rap sheet. Author Robert Matthews.
That's a genuine bad picture of Nicolas Cage.
Computer graphics of the time, so it fits really.
And this is him. This is the father, the padre, inspecting some sort of box.
Or is it? Ooh.
What's in the box? It looks like some sort of weapon of some sorts, some sort of computer-based weapon.
I mean, it's nice that they put a skull and crossbones so anyone who finds it knows not to touch it.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to open that, see the skull and crossbones, and immediately call the police. They should put flowers or a love heart there instead.
Exactly,
That would have worked a lot better.
Yeah.
And Sean's getting down to his crew. He's not a very nice boss, a very hard boss. Likes to tell them to just
rigid.
Get the fuck on with it.
That is a huge monitor. And it's right on the corner of a desk that's very bad health and safety.
Very much so. I mean, what's going on in this part is there's a bit. Oh, we're back to the bomb. And we've got 264 hours. Or days. I mean, extraordinarily long movie for the days. But let's just say it's 264 hours.
So that's 11 days.
11 days. That's how long this movie takes.
Is he on about Clive?
Sinclair? I don't know.
Do we know what the Sinclair reference is?
I don't know. Unfortunately not. I know what the Castor reference is, and his brother Pollux, who will be introduced shortly, but we'll go over that when we get to it. So the bomb is set. Sinclair is hot. And here we go. 264 hours. And then the thing explodes. It seems odd. You'd think he would just do it for 24. That's enough time to get away. But this has got to take place over the entire movie. So
nice bit of plot armor there.
We'll get on with that. Sean's becoming a bit impatient because obviously they've got no leads on this guy, and then they do get one in, don't they? That he has been seen. And here he is after setting the bomb, dancing through the symphony hall, where we dances into a choir,
chewing up the scenery. Classic.
A very, very, very lovely young lady.
Careful. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
And obviously takes a nice good sniff. A bit like Joe Biden here. Hallelujah.
I scream.
And gives her a good old feel. Who wouldn't if you were in the same position? Catholic Church and all that.
Yes, over there. Oh boy.
I'd have known for that.
Classic meme face.
You had to stop there, didn't you?
Of course you do.
He's got cage range.
And let's move on. So that's where the bomb set at the International Church Choir competition at the American Bar Association. Let's hope nobody's going to be there in 11 days. Well, looks like they won't. And he's being a little bit miserable there, Sean. Nothing's actually happened yet. Hasn't got any leads. And we see Castor Troy on the runway, making his getaway. And a nice collection of stuff he's got there. Knife, some chewies, a couple of blunts, nice pair of sunglasses, and some blue pills, presumably so he can keep a nice, big, stiff one. And those twin revolvers.
You know,
lovely?
The handles on those revolvers have got dragons.
Have they?
Yes, it's because Nicolas Cage was born in the year of the dragon. I only found that out yesterday.
And those revolvers make another appearance, don't they?
They do.
I forget the movie. What's it called?
Oh God, I can't remember either.
The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
That's it.
That's
it. The one with Pedro Pascal.
I actually enjoyed that film. I thought it was quite good.
Yeah, it was all right, wasn't it?
Not too bad, but they appear in his collection, don't they? And make an appearance in that film. And now we're introduced to Pollux Troy. And if you know your astrology, you'll know that Castor and Pollux are two twin stars in the constellation of Gemini. Interestingly enough, the Archer Sagittarius is the opposite side of Gemini.
Very cool.
Yes. So that's why Sean is named Archer.
That's why it was Patrick Moore's favourite film.
And they're both fire signs, so they are as strong as each other. Anyway, Nick moves on, and where are we in the movie here? Oh, yes. Offering some cash for his lads, and then withdrawing it. Thank you very much. I'm keeping that. I'm fucking off. And this girl is going to be making a move on him, and he cops a feel, and she's getting down to some lovely tongue action. I think he wants to taste her at this point.
Fruit reference.
Peaches.
Peach. I can eat a peach for hours.
You really went to town on these slides, didn't you?
I thought I took a few out, but she was quite sensual with this kiss scene. She really meant it.
She really did.
Do you think she'd got a bit of a wide tuppence for him?
I think they've got a future together. Ooh. Oh. Suits you, sir. He does love his peaches, doesn't he?
With cream.
With cream. And the plane takes off. But Sean is in hot pursuit after they get a tip-off that the plane was rented to Castor Troy and landed at this airfield. So they're going in. Full guns, head on. There come the police from behind. You'd think they would have come from the other way. Sean managed to get there in time. You'd think some other cars would as well. But here he goes, going to play chicken with a small jet, as you do. But Nick's having none of it. He's going to bash him head on. Let's go it. But the girl on the plane's actually an agent and demands that he turn the plane off and stop, come to a halt. You're under arrest.
Plot twist.
Tongue twist.
But she's easily dispatched, and he orders him to take off. They're trying to stop him very hard here, but it's just not working. So we're just left with Sean in his Jeep going head on against the jet. And here he is, squeezing one out. Thanks very much, John. And they're getting on the plane. But no, he's going to shoot her and kick her out, try and delay them. Did you see when the body went under the plane?
Yeah, I did take that one out because, yeah, it was good. But I just thought it might upset the YouTube gods a little bit too much.
Just a little bit.
There was a lot of jam in that picture, if I remember rightly.
But it was a nice impact. I think she went under one of the wheels as well.
She did.
Which was very nice. One of yours, Sean.
Flip.
And there they go. Oh no.
Oh, she slept.
Whoops-a-daisy.
It happens.
God, yeah. And the last thing on her mind was him giving her a good tonguing. She's very dead.
Well, she won't be at work tomorrow, put it that way.
It's the day before her retirement. It was terrible.
I wonder if they'll have cake at the wake.
So Sean steals the helicopter. And did you know that Travolta's actually got a pilot's license?
Yes, indeed. He's got his own 747, hasn't he?
He has.
Qantas gave him one.
But a helicopter's enough, and he's in hot pursuit of the jet, catching up fast. And the jet takes off, and he whacks it with the helicopter, forcing it back down again.
Such a good scene.
Yeah, Castor shoots at him, try and get that helicopter off, but the helicopter's having none of it. Whacks one straight into the engine. The plane comes to a stop. They've got no option, but the pilot's gone now. Don't care. Head straight towards that hangar and crashes straight into it.
Beautiful scene. It's just it looked absolutely fantastic.
There's very little CGI in this movie. Most of all the stunts are practical effects.
It was late 90s. It was very hard to get CGI to look authentic. Worked well in sort of like sci-fi because things look otherworldly, but if it's a down-to-earth movie like this, CGI just is not going to cut it.
Lots of explosions. Excellent. The plane is down. The pilot's dead. And we've just got Castor and Pollux left. Sean leaps into action. And out come the guns. He leaps from the plane. Pew, 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 pew. Very much like Florence Pugh. And Sean goes after him.
Bang.
Bang. Oh. Looks like that guy got his ear shot off. And it looks like they're trapped in there. And obviously Pollux, being a little bit on the autistic spectrum, is not liking this at all. Sean comes in, guns are blazing, and what's this? Oh, looks like a flammable gas pipe. Yep, it most certainly is. Boom. Pollux is sent down and promptly arrested. So we're just left with Castor, trapped in the factory. Oh no, you got me. And this looks like a jet engine wind tunnel there. Oh, I'm assuming it's a wind tunnel. It could have been one of my exes. And here they are, having a face-off in the hangar. Just the two of them. Reloading those dragon guns. Aren't they bloody beautiful? The black and the gold, really fantastic. Firefight ensues between the two. One of many.
Bang.
Explosions absolutely everywhere. They keep firing at each other, and it looks like it's going to be no true winner here until out comes Sean, guns blazing, sliding down there, firing, setting off this thing. What is? And this is the control panel for the jet engine, which is sitting in the hangar bay, and that sets the thing off. And they've got their guns head to head. What's going to happen? Well, it looks like somebody's out of bullets. So Castor's looking at surrendering or not. He's got a knife. But the jet engine fires off. Sean kicks him back. And he goes flying into the wind tunnel, smacking himself against the end, which I'm surprised he didn't get absolutely bloody sushi'd at that point. Powers it down, and he's out. Assumed to be dead. I'm just wondering how they couldn't tell the difference.
He's a bit Cooper and all, isn't he?
He is a little bit. So, job done, and it's back at home to the Archer house. And you get to meet his missus. It's her name, Eve, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And his beautiful daughter. It's weird to actually think that this was considered to be wild and wacky when this is what you see normally on the streets now. And he doesn't want going out like that, unfortunately. But obviously, get with it, Dad. Get with the program.
It's not a phase.
It's not.
No.
And back into the office, he's getting a clap for everybody. And he's got a bottle of champagne there, celebrating the capture of Castor Troy. CIA sent him a bottle, and he says, send it back. But no, he wants to hold this up. This is about all the people that they lost. Montgomery, Berkeley, Pincus, Gianelli, Winters, everybody that they lost to the Troy brothers. And Sean's inspecting his files now. And finally, he can put this case to bed. And it's now closed. And that's a burden off his mind there.
It's amazing. We've had all this story and it hasn't even started yet.
No, not at all. Because they've still got something to take care of, unfortunately. And the information that's being handed over to this, and do you know who that is?
CC Pounder.
It is CC Pounder, the original Amanda Waller.
Ooh.
She's been in a lot of things. She was in RoboCop 3.
Yeah, I absolutely love her.
Ooh. Oh,
Wasn't she in Warehouse 13, if anybody watched that?
She was, yeah. I forget what her name is in
CC
Warehouse
Pounder.
13. No, in Warehouse 13.
Debbie.
But she was kind of the boss of that, wasn't she?
Mm-hmm.
So they've got this disc, which they found in the wreckage of the plane. It was in Pollux Troy's briefcase.
That looks like an iAmega zip drive.
That's a zip drive, yeah. That's 100 megabytes of storage. That was huge in the 90s.
I've still got a zip drive and some discs somewhere.
So have I.
dig it out.
Mine's external, so it's actually quite rare. It's one of the clear blue ones because, clear plastic was really cool at the time.
It was. And we're introduced to Sinclair. I've not seen any Spectrum that looks like this. The colours just don't get. They're so blocky. You can only have 2 colours in every 8x8 square. It's ridiculous. You'd never get this image done.
No on-screen sprites.
And I'm going to blow you. I mean, you've got to admire Pollux Troy for not only creating and building and the bomb and everything, but doing these amazing 16-bit graphics to go along with it. Gonna blow you away. And the details are, here is the bomb.
It is a big bomb.
It is a rather big bomb.
The bum.
So where is he? Where is Pollux Troy? And he's in captivity. And he doesn't know about his brother as yet. They're demanding that they give him some answers, but obviously he's not going to do that. He's not going to do that at all, but they have to get this out of him one way or the other. And Sean's boss is demanding some progress, but he's out of options. Pollux isn't going to tell him, and as far as they're aware, Castor Troy is deceased. But Amanda Waller here has got an idea. A way that they can get the information out of him. So here we head off to the Walsh Institute, which is a medical facility with cutting-edge technology.
Literally.
Quite literally. This is the sci-fi element of the story that I actually love. And it's quite weird that you think, although this was very far-fetched then, they are actually 3D printing things like ear cartilage.
Replacement bits now, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's a weird process.
It is, but it's so odd that something that was considered science fiction at the time would be in practical use today and becoming even more advanced.
They're actually doing whole face replacements. I have actually seen that documented.
They're literally doing a face-off. Well, here he is, fully unconscious. And they're going through the idea, what they've got there. And this guy explains. This is
That's
Malcolm.
the bloke from the Umbrella Academy.
Is it? What, the professor?
Yeah, Jeffrey Hargreaves.
Is it really?
It is.
So he's proposing physical alteration, augmentation, and shows him an example of this, which is one of the guys who got his ear shot off. You may have saw him in the warehouse. And you look at that really nasty wound there. And they're growing him, rather 3D printing him, a replacement ear out of his own tissue so that he can have that grafted on and replaced. And not look like he's just got one ear.
Scientifically, there's a lot of foreshadowing in this.
There is, isn't there?
Because they originally had, I mean, this goes back to the 90s. They actually grew replacement ears on the back of mice.
True.
You're welcome to look this up. And and they used them for surgery. And you had people who wanted replacement ears. They put them on their necks near to arteries and things, and it would actually help them grow. So they'd be growing their own ear on their neck and just look really weird for a year. So true. It's disturbing.
His colleague there, Loomis, is just having an ear done. But what they're proposing is something a little bit more radical than that. It is, in fact, an entire face transplant between Castor Troy and Sean Archer. Where they're going to physically augment him. I wish that were possible. Just a bit of a nip and tuck.
Can I have a bit off the top and 2 little ones, please?
See, Sean Archer is looking a bit chunky, but they've decided to put some muscles on him anyway.
3 from the top and 2 from the bottom, Carol, please.
And there's Loomis having his new fake ear stitched back on. That is really quite incredible.
It is.
Not going to be long before we get something like that. And this is how they're going to alter the bone structure on the face. And I forget where we are now.
Angry people.
Yeah, he's dragging all his known associates in.
Aha, yes. Unfortunately, none of them know what the plan is. Not even this guy.
Where's the bomb? I don't know. Next.
That's pretty much it. They're very short interrogation scenes, mainly so that they eliminate all pathways that Sean can go down. So the only choice is to opt for the medical procedure. So nice little bald guy there. That's I forget his name now.
Derek.
Derek doesn't know. But even threatening him, he's not going to get any information out of him.
Dietrich. That was it.
Oh, I knew it was something beginning with D.
Even by force. This is a legal citizen. And Sean returns home. His wife asleep.
She's got a weird face. She's like old but not old, and she's kind of hot in a weird kind of way.
Yeah, she looks both 30 and 60 at the same time.
Yeah.
But he gives her a bit of a stroke on the face to reassure her.
Wasn't she in one of the Bourne movies?
What's her name?
Eve.
No, the actress.
Bourne Supremacy and the Bourne Ultimatum.
Yeah, Joan Allen.
Yeah, that's it.
So gives his daughter a nice kiss goodnight. He knows he's going to do it. He knows he's going to go on assignment with this. It's the only thing he's got left. All the other options have been exhausted. So he's changed his mind, and his colleague says this is a suicide mission. And although he knows this, he knows that the doctor can do it. So returns back to the institute, and the bullet hole. This is the bullet hole that he got during the carousel accident. So unfortunately, that's got to go as well because it's a recognizable thing. Although he wants to keep it, doesn't he?
The animatronics in this bit were amazing because again, it was all practical. Remember that when you're watching all of this.
So they're prepped for the operation. Sean on one side, Castor on the other, and they start mapping their faces out.
Animatronics at this point.
Yeah. And doesn't it look incredible? It looks exactly like him.
It was the 90s.
He looks a bit too lifelike to be John Travolta.
And here we go, slicing it off. You would have thought that the track that they were slicing would have been digitally mapped on there as well.
Yeah.
Because they draw that on, and there's too much margin forever, a bit of stretching there.
I could have used a Rod Stewart song to go along with this scene.
Which one?
First cut is the deepest.
So here we go, pulling the face right off. I want one in a jar. What a great prop that would make.
Just wear it at the weekends and go, look, I'm John Travolta.
Didn't you notice in the trailer, John Travolta's face looked really weird?
No?
Yeah. He kind of reminded me of the character who played in Swordfish.
It's been a while since I watched Swordfish.
And that's really hygienic in an operating theatre, having your fucking hair cut.
You would have thought they would have done that beforehand. But now we're pulling off the other face from Castor Troy, and off that comes And what an incredible effect that is when that comes off. When you see the whole skin thing inside the mask and the flesh underneath. It's absolutely amazing. And one of the things Nick Cage said, he didn't want to see that makeup.
Yeah.
When they were filming this scene. So John Woo removed all the reflective surfaces. Then just squidge that back into place. It really is that easy. You just rip the thing off, whack it on someone else.
Little staple gun around the outside. Just
let it heal, and away you go. And off come the bandages, and now we have Castor Troy's face on Sean's body. I don't know what I'd do if I have somebody else's face.
A lot of crime, and then let them get caught for it, I guess.
That is a bloody good idea.
Run up a bill of some variety.
But all of this is after the face removal. It's been restitched. His hair's been trimmed. His bones have been restructured. And now he looks exactly like Nicolas Cage. I don't know which one I prefer to look like, Nicolas Cage or John Travolta. How about you, Trev?
I'd rather be a fiver behind either of them.
And I just love the bit when they do the surgery, just squidging all that latex about on that face. It was absolutely gorgeous. And he can't quite believe what he's seeing in the mirror. His worst enemy. How did they do the dental?
There's lots of... This raises more questions than it answers.
Oh, it does, but it's still a great effect.
I think the best thing to do with this movie is turn your brain off.
Yeah, just enjoy the popcorn.
They said it can be done, so it can be done. You can't even see the seam. It's great. And he's having a bit of regrets here about what's happened. It's somehow a bit psychologically too much for him to take in. But he knows it's the only way he's going to get that information out of Pollux.
Did you say bollocks?
I said Pollux.
Oh. I thought you said that's the only way he's going to get information out of bollocks.
Now, the next thing they've got to do is they've got to make him sound like Castor Troy. So they've got this vocal modulator that they implant into him. So anything that he says in his Sean voice comes out as Castor. And now the transformation is complete. And we're back at the convention center with the bomb ticking. 216 hours left. Oddly specific. Anyway, we move on, and Sean is taken to the prison where Pollux is being kept.
I'd never seen a fat Asian version of Melissa McCarthy before until this film.
He's handed over to the FBI. Got to make it look convincing. As far as they're aware, he's the real deal. So they get a bag on his head and take him to Nudie Tuesdays by the look of things. So yes, he's in prison. And he's been getting searched by the guards who've all got rather Nazi-like uniforms on, haven't they?
I think it sells it, doesn't it? That the authoritarian things that are done inside prisons. Not that I know.
Not having been in one.
Mm-hmm.
And this is called Erewhon Prison, which is just an anagram of nowhere, because of where it's based, which we'll find out a bit more about later. And it's going to have to put these magic boots on. These are magnetic boots that bind your feet to the floor. So in the event of unrest...
It's funny how the idea for these got reused in The Expanse.
I'll tell you where I have seen these boots before.
Go on.
1980s, the Super Mario movie.
Yeah.
Same boots as worn by the Goombas.
That's it. God, how disturbing.
So all prisoners are required to wear these at all times. And as they say, your ass belongs to them. Now, the other prisoners can't quite believe that Castor Troy is here. Especially this guy. Do you know his name?
No.
No, that's the nose all round. So he's walking through the mess hall and sees his brother and gives him a nice big smile. Starts to walk over to him. But the guy with the glasses interrupts him and says, "What's the matter, pal? Don't you remember the little people?"
Yeah, it's Thomas Jane. Strangely enough, he was in The Expanse as well.
Unfortunately, Sean Archer doesn't remember who the fuck this is. And he introduced himself as Burke Hicks. And looks like we've got a bit of a fight going on here.
Head in a table, classic move.
Fantastic. And Pollock's watching on as thing goes down, and the fight's continuing. And I don't know why Dubov has got it in for him, but of course, being roused on by the crowd, and the guards not intervening, Sean Archer goes full Castor Troy and beats the living crap out of him.
Wallop.
Nice. And the guy's knocked unconscious. But that doesn't stop him. He's got to imitate Castor Troy's manic personality. So goes absolutely brutal on him. Not looking too sparky there, mate. So they lock the boots down. Give him a good old tase and put him into custody. Smug bitch. Oh, everybody wants to take him down. And we're back at the Walsh Institute, where the operation took place. And lying in bed is the body of Castor Troy. And all of a sudden, he comes back to life. Oh, got a new visitor.
Hello, everyone.
Lord. Oh. Hello there, sir. How are you?
If I was doing any better, I couldn't live with myself.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today. Are you a fan of the movie at all?
I love this movie.
Tell me about it.
Well, I saw it when I was 20 on my birthday, spent all day long in the movie theater. And of the 3 films I watched that day, this was absolutely my favorite. It's my first introduction to John Woo, my first introduction to the 90s, later crazy Nick Cage. And, it was always great to see John Travolta. So, yeah, it's incredible. I probably rewatched it about good 50, 60 times.
Wow. So, very, very thank you very much for coming on today and joining us for this. Because obviously it's my first ever stream, so be gentle with me. First time presenting. So do expect some silences, some fuck-ups, and some slight miscarrying. So Castor Troy touches his face and notices a clot of blood, something going on. And in the next room, he can see Sean Archer's face. What the bloody hell is going on here, he thinks to himself. So goes back and watches the video of the removal and replacement taking place and demands that the scientist is brought in to replicate the operation. And wow,
That looks impressive.
It does look impressive. I'm not surprised they wanted to remove those reflective surfaces there. And the doctor there, a bit reluctant to proceed with this. He obviously knows how dangerous he is. But look at that. Oh, that reflection, absolutely gorgeous.
Face for radio.
Oh, absolutely.
Speaking of which, guys, I've got to bail at this point because I've got to get up extra early in the morning to be on the radio of all things. So enjoy the rest of your stream, Zee. Thank you for having me on.
No worries at all. Thank you for letting me have a bash.
Good night, Trev.
And all right, ta-ra. Bye-bye.
So we're back in prison again, and Pollock's having a great time with his mate there, and we can see that Castor's been let out. Points out that he doesn't seem very coordinated lately.
Almost as if he was some other person.
Yeah, so Castor tries to plead with him, says he's so fried, he's misfiring, and if they find out about it, it's going to be dead meat, and he's going to get shock treatment. Obviously, the crash has had a more effect on him than Pollock's originally thought, or at least that's the message that he's trying to send there.
I've seen this guy in a bunch of films.
I was just looking at his face, just going, I recognize that, and I can't place it.
Is he the killer from Zodiac?
I don't know.
I couldn't tell you. But anyway, we get Castor isolated in a cell, and someone's coming. Who's it going to be? And the door opens, and it's none other than himself.
It's like looking in a mirror, only not.
What a great line that is. And is completely and utterly mind-fluffed by the whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting that Nicolas Cage and John Travolta spent 2 weeks together before filming this so they could learn to play each other's characters. And they decided on specific gestures and vocal cadences so that each character could be mimicked by the other one. But it's very, very well performed.
I don't know which is funnier, Nick Cage pretending to be John Travolta or John Travolta pretending to be Nick Cage. It's mental.
And here's the bad news. The Walsh Institute has been destroyed. So it looks like getting his face back is going to be a no-go.
Oh, dear.
Terrible news. And this is his colleagues at the moment setting fire to the to the Institute, and Castor here is mocking him and says, "See anything you like," when he holds up his ring, because obviously he's got access to his wife now. And the flames being lit, and there goes the Institute. He's torched all the evidence, and it looks like he's going to be stuck here for the next 100 years. So it's not looking very good at all. But he attacks him, and then calls in the guards. Oh no! And gets down again. So this is twice he's been there. 2 times he's had his shit kicked out of him.
As you do in prison.
I wouldn't know, having never been there myself.
Wish I could say the same.
But as you can see here, Sean, with Castor's face, this is obviously really difficult to keep track of this, is not having a good time with the news. So Sean with Castor's face, or is it Castor with Sean's face?
Castor with Sean's face. Castor with Sean's face.
returns
going to
home
get confusing very quickly, I think.
and completely skips past his house because obviously he hasn't really got a clue where he lives. The GPS wasn't really a thing back then. And his missus is waiting at the door.
You can tell exactly what he's thinking.
And she says it's only a matter of time before you forgot where we lived. I'm guessing it's because he's away on assignment so often.
I would assume so, yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, give him a break. All of these houses look the same.
But he's a bit more of a flamboyant Sean, a bit more of a brash, arrogant Sean. And they go inside, and he takes a look round, gets a feel for the house. Reads his diary, which is really weird that 36-year-olds are keeping diaries. Is that something that anybody does?
No.
Because
I think the last time I kept a diary, I was 12, and I intentionally wrote it because I knew someone was going to read it.
That's an odd flex, but okay. Has a bit of look around the house, and it goes into his daughter's room.
Yikes! I believe this actress also played Lolita, not coincidentally.
She did, yes. It's not something you tend to do. I have a daughter myself. Anytime I go anywhere near her, she goes, "Dad, stop being weird."
Yeah,
But
just
anyway,
for existing.
He smokes now. There's going to be some changes around here. And he doesn't mind if she smokes either. Obviously, it's not his daughter, so he doesn't care. Papa's got a brand new bag. And his daughter kind of likes this. And if you won't tell Mum, I won't.
Yikes.
Meanwhile, back in the prison, Sean is not having a good time. And Pollux is above, starts taunting him.
Prison guards are very mean.
They are. Yeah. Yeah, they are.
And he says, "Bye, bro. Drop me a line sometime." So he knows. He knows that's not his brother, and he knows that's Sean. Or it's just the fact that the other Archer cut him some slack for evidence, and he's getting an early release.
Yeah, either way.
Or
Either
both.
Way. Yeah.
And Sean tries to plead. He says there's a bomb at the LA Convention Center. But nobody wants to listen. He's not Sean Archer. He's Castor Troy, and he's in prison exactly where he belongs. Meanwhile, at headquarters, Pollux is having a succulent Chinese meal.
I love the throwaway line that Travolta does as Castor playing Sean, where the assistant says, "I'm so sorry about your friends." And he's like, "Oh, well, shit happens."
And his boss comes in and wants to know what the hell's going on. And he tells him about the plea deal that he's arranged, and it's his new tactic. But he's not happy with that and demands that everything go through him going forward.
Typical boss in typical American 90s, TV style.
Yeah.
So Castor goes in, turns off the mic, and has a chat with Pollux here. And says to him, "You're supposed to be snitching. You're supposed to be making me look good. How about you give me some of that information about the bombs that I can take back?" And there's a little note, a little line on there about how he's got this ridiculous face with a ridiculous chin. And John Travolta actually thought that was a slight on him. But he had to be reassured that it was not. It was just part of the script.
Self-deprecating, I guess.
Yeah. Which is weird because Nicolas Cage got a much odder chin than John Travolta. So they're searching the convention center, and the bomb has got 1 minute, 14 seconds left. And Sean pops his head around the door and tells the bomb disposal guys, take a hike, I'll take it from here. And they're like, what, you crazy? And he goes, no, just fluff off, I'll do it. Does elaborate dance. I don't know what the showmanship is for. There's nobody watching him. I don't know why he just doesn't deactivate it there and then, but I guess that's part of the Castor Troy personality.
Ties it in with everything that happened earlier, I guess.
Yeah, and the bomb's down, 38 seconds, away we go. And he punches in the code. Oh, you disarmed me with 2 seconds to go. Yeah, of course I did.
Show off.
And then CNN announces on the news that Sean Archer disarmed a massive bomb just 1 second before it was set to blow, even though the timer clearly said 2.
Fake news. Terrible.
And all Sean can do is watch on. Stuck with no way out. Looking at his mortal enemy take all of the plays. That's a really good moment. Now our side's got the ball. Sorry. Sean goes back, or rather Castor goes back with Sean's face and lavishes in the praise that's been given. Somebody's got a chat come up here.
If Strev's gone, has he taken all the controls with him and we can't do anything about it?
Well, I haven't actually been given instructions on how to function this entire thing. So I'm just kind of winging it as we go along, having no tutorials on this whatsoever. So they're all quite happy that he's been brought in.
Restream doing its usual.
Yeah, Restream is doing its usual.
Oh, did we skip over the blatant sexual harassment that he does with his
with his
assistant?
Subordinate there, yeah. Gives her a nice big slap on the arse there.
Yeah.
And we see this nice candlelit mood, and it looks like Castor, as Sean has prepared a delicious dinner for his missus with some lobster and some spaghetti there. Odd choices, but they don't tend to go together. But there you go. That's down to them. And the entire house is absolutely lit. The heat in there must be enormous.
That's a fire hazard. It's terrible.
It is. So he spins her around, gives her a bit of a scare, and lets her know that it's date night. You know what's happening. Yes, you do.
Chicka boom, chicka wow wow.
So gives her a bit of a leg rub to unwind, as you do. But Eve is Sean's if the top cop in the country can't come back home and every night to his wife, then to hell with the country.
It is quite weird. They swap places, and then he actually becomes a better father and husband.
Yeah. Just the terrorist is actually
he's there. He's attentive. He's interested in the daughter. Not quite the way a father would be interested in a daughter,
right?
But even vice versa, as Nicolas Cage pretending to be the terrorist is actually, more care for everything on that side as well. So it's all really they work better off being the other people.
Yeah,
it's disturbing.
Should have just stayed that way. I mean, just works. It works better for everybody.
It does.
Oh, and he's giving Eve the eye now because he says the only place I'm going is upstairs with you.
That lobster's going to go cold. Just never eat fish second day.
Oh, it's the Punisher. The Punisher makes an appearance here.
Is that Thomas Jane?
It is indeed.
Ooh.
So we're back in prison, and Sean goes straight up to the guard and says, "Hey, I'm out of cigarettes. And he tells him to get back in line. And he goes, I said I'm out of cigarettes. And starts his third fight. And everybody's getting involved. Sean gets taken down, but he's still going after the cigarette.
Pretending to be unhinged, or actually probably going unhinged at this point.
And he's hauled out, presumably back into solitary confinement, shouting, anybody got a light?
A classic.
Got a light? Anybody got a light?
Classic Castor Troy.
So he's been taken to the shock treatment center because it's the only place that they take off the boots. So he's arranged to get himself captured and taken in there, so he can have some of that electroshock therapy and get his boots off.
Dubov seems to be doing okay with it.
Yeah, Chungus he seems to be enjoying it.
Yeah.
150 volts. That doesn't seem that impressive. So Chungus is on the floor there, and they strap Sean into the electroshock device. And they can't wait to electrocute Castor Troy. But he goes, can I have a light? And he gets his light. And he stabs out that cigarette.
Yeah. Flagrant violation of Department of Corrections protocols here, boys. Flagrant.
But not before telling Dubrov on the floor there that he didn't actually touch his wife and sister. And it's time to get out of here. So he lobs that cigarette out onto the wrist of the guy who's attaching him after his boots are off. Overpower the guards. And break out. So there they are coming up on the monitors. I don't know how they know where they are because they don't have their boots on. But we'll just skip over that. So the guards start firing on them as they try to get away. And they're pinned down. So shoot through the door and escape. They both grab guns off the fallen guards. So they're fully armed and they're on their way out.
Yeah, because you usually keep machine guns in the prison. So yeah.
It is quite weird that the entire prison systems happen to be next to the medical bay.
Yeah.
It's quite ironic that
it's quite convenient, but still pretty good.
Is it me, or can you hear a knocking at the door?
A knocking at the door?
Somebody's
Maybe
at the door.
Is there somebody at the door?
Someone from the north. I believe it's a bastard.
Well, bless my soul, it's Northern English bastard.
Greetings, Squire.
Bastards, how you doing?
Welcome for joining us today. How are you, my friend?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Christ, I'm sorry I'm late here. I thought this was going to be on later. I would have stopped 1883. I've just ended that series now, but yeah, sorry for sidetracking you. But go on.
Oh, that's okay. So tell us about your experience with Face Off.
Yeah, awesome movie. It's pure stupidity, but it's fun stupidity, and it's just good seeing these two actors sort of like mostly change different acting styles as well. And John Travolta's Nicolas Cage is on point, totally on point.
I think they both are, to be honest.
Yeah, I like the fact that Nicolas Cage has this reputation for being the sort of actor, but here he really downplays it once he becomes.
No, he tones it. He tones it down. Yeah, Travolta's really chewing the scenery in this film. Yeah. Which I mean, of course, he would be if he's imitating, Castor Troy.
Yeah, they've got each other off to pat on this, I think.
Explosions.
Lots of explosions. John Woo's signature. So they're deactivating the prison systems and trying to make their way out.
What a great shot right there.
And there we go. Straight out the door. And
Freedom.
They're on,
sort of.
on an oil rig.
Yeah. Well, that's not too high or too dangerous or shark infested. I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'm sure it'll be absolutely fine. And as you can see, it's quite a sturdy oil rig, not rusting and dilapidated in any way, and probably safe for prisoners.
Yeah, I'm sure they're really close to the coastline as well.
Although, judging from the size of Nick Cage and the size of the oil rig, it doesn't look like they could actually fit the cell area on that lower level.
Mm-mm.
So he's found out he's isolated. The helicopter's coming for him, trying to obviously shoot him. Don't want him to get escaping. One of the most lethal terrorists on the planet. But he decides the only way out.
Yeah, I love the fact that the helicopter just completely misses, even though that would have made mincemeat out of him.
Must have the same pilots as the helicopter pilots in Die Hard. Because they couldn't hit John McClane either. So off he pops, jumping over the edge, trying to get out of the way of the bloody helicopter, who's shooting at him constantly, and he jumps into the ocean.
Splosh.
And here, at the grave of the late Michael Archer, his lovely son.
Yep, and he pretty much has to stand there and really face probably one of his worst crimes, I should say. And it does seem to kind of bother him a little bit. You're not really sure. It's like, is it bothering him, or is he thinking, oh my God, can I just get the fuck out of here, please?
I think someone mentioned it in the chat earlier. He wasn't actually aiming for the sun. It's just the sun was collateral damage.
Yeah,
Yep.
and you could see the look of guilt on his face after he'd done it. You know, that was not what he intended. He intended to kill Sean. Killing Michael as well was just a bonus. But the pair of them, even Sean, are at the grave, or rather Castor, are at the grave, grieving the loss of their boy. This is the day he died.
Yeah.
Always thought it was weird that he didn't just. It's not like he only had one round in that sniper rifle. Why didn't he? Why didn't he take another shot and just finish Sean off right there?
Guessing it's too much visibility. If you fire off one shot, it's hard to figure out where it's coming from. But
yeah,
when you fire a second, you can easily see where you're paying more attention at that point.
Yeah, especially for Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah.
But anyway, he hasn't
been recovered yet.
So he gets informed that Castor Troy has escaped, or has been killed in an escape, and he wants to see the body. Where's the body? Oh, it hasn't been recovered yet. And there he shits. Yeah, it hasn't been recovered. Get LAPD on this. He's obviously unsure whether he's alive or not. He doesn't want him coming back. And does this
creepy,
really creepy thing. I mean, you think the face-off motif that Sean Archer has is creepy. This is almost on another level to that.
Ew.
So anyway, Sean's made his way back to the mainland and immediately steals a car, which is not great for a cop, and goes straight to the hospital.
So they've got all this advanced technology, but he's still using a car phone.
Yeah, I mean, originally it was supposed to be a sci-fi thing, and it was supposed to be set in the near future. But I suppose we're restricted by the technology of the time. And Eve receives a call, and it's from Sean.
Except it isn't.
Except it isn't.
Except it is.
Meanwhile, Sean has made his way to an associate's of Castor Troy, which is Dietrich Hassler, I believe.
Yep.
Played by John Cassavetes.
Famous director.
Indeed. In fact, John Woo let Nick Cassavetes write a lot of his lines for the movie. And even surprised John Woo by shaving his head for the role. And John Woo said that was exactly the image that he was looking for.
Oh yeah, he got the job, and then he decided to shave it after he already had the job.
Yes, after he got cast.
Keep him guessing.
Definitely. So they're settling down for a night of partying with his guns, his pills, and his chewing gum. Lots of blunts. And a nice presentation piece.
Yeah, how did he get these guns?
I have no idea.
Wouldn't the guns have been collected when he got thrown into the afterburner? Like, how did he get the guns at a prison lockup?
Oh, yeah, good point.
Well, they would have been taken into evidence if they survived the crash.
Okay.
Which they did, because he used them in the shootout scene in the hangar bay.
So how did this guy get them?
I don't know. They would have been taken into evidence unless Castor got them out. But then why would he not keep them and just hand them over to Dietrich?
They're nice guns anyway.
They are nice guns.
Yeah, they are. Gorgeous.
Yeah, and they do come back into play in an unbearable weight of massive talent as well, which I really love.
So our two boys are getting drunk and high. And celebrating the loss of Sean Archer.
So I want to take his face
off. Face off.
No more drugs for that guy.
Oh no, not celebrating the death of Sean. They're planning on offing him. So he's going to use his own gang to kill him. And now we're introduced to Sasha, who's Dietrich's sister.
This is not my face. Still, it's classic. It's a Nicolas Cage moment.
Yeah, so he has to play Nicolas Cage playing John Travolta playing Nicolas Cage. It's
it's brilliant. We did say earlier that they spent 2 weeks prior to the shoot actually with each other, exchanging mannerisms so they could act like the other one.
Yeah, and it works. It works. As ridiculous as this movie is,
it really does.
It does work. I mean, they're putting the work for it. Toxic.
So they're getting absolutely off his tits. He's getting hallucinogenic. Meanwhile, back at the homestead, his daughter's coming home with a boyfriend, a nice boyfriend. But Castor sees them, and there's something going on inside the vehicle. He's getting a bit handsy. Oh,
so he does as well.
We've got another beep come up. Let's see who we got here. Hello, Toxic Lord.
Sorry, I had to plug the laptop in.
Oh my God, we got everybody in coming on tonight. What's your experience of this movie, my friend?
Same as it was before.
Were you on earlier?
Yes.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Has it been that long? We've only been going for an hour and 15 minutes.
Hey, it's the quality, not the quantity. It's fine.
Well, let me bring you up to speed on what you missed. One frame, you're back up to speed.
There we go.
So anyway, Castor pulls the boyfriend through the car window because obviously his daughter there is struggling, and he gives him a bit of a beating.
I wonder how Danny Masterson was able to channel the idea of a guy that SAs young women, you know what I mean? As he doesn't really do things like that in real life. Quite an actor to have pulled that performance off.
I mean, he's not nice about it either. He really fiercely pulls him out of that window and smashes him against the side and beats his head in until he's actually just begging for him to stop. So I'm sorry, but he just keeps going.
Yeah. Nicolas Cage playing John Travolta playing Nicolas Cage playing John Travolta being a good dad.
Yeah, he ends up being a surprisingly better dad than John Travolta. He teaches his daughter self-defense, which so does pay off later as well. Against
Does he teach her self-defense, or does he give her a switchblade and tell her how to stab a guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's self-defense in my view. I mean, fucking hell.
Fair, Hull is a dangerous place, I'm told.
Oh,
So
yeah.
he throws him about like a little clown boy. And down he goes.
He does.
Yeah, it's good. We kind of got this fucking psycho learning to be a family guy, while the good guy has to be a fucking psycho in order to get the psycho. It's a good little twist. There's great twists in this. There really is.
So he says to his daughter, if you dress up like you're going out on Halloween, some ghoul's going to try and get in your pants.
Well, that's good fatherly advice right there, isn't it?
Yeah, sadly, a lot of girls seem to have really turned that kind of thing up to 11 now.
God bless them. God bless them all.
And he says that she hasn't been the same since Michael died, which is a really odd thing for Castor to say. Hiding behind her face and disguising her pain. And he decides to give her a bit of protection. Not condoms, as you would think.
Yeah.
Proper protection.
I think that whole psychoanalysis he was doing on her, he's probably known a few fucking women like that in his time. And he sees that she's the same.
And he says, next time your boyfriend tries this, slip it into his thigh, twist so the wound won't close. Important information for later, I feel.
And that's the thing, because if you just picked up a knife, you intentionally, if you're intentionally doing it, you would just stab and out repeatedly. It's all like that. That causes not as much damage as pushing in and twisting. So he's actually experience, I'm guessing, is where it's coming from.
What, Castor Troy? A psycho? No. But it is a good setup, though. That's what it is. That's really what great films do. They provide setup for really good, fulfilling payoff.
This is what happens when you have good writers.
And it's great that she, after feeling that her dad's been invisible for so long, she actually takes his advice to heart and keeps that knife on her.
Yeah. Boy, this young lady, Dominique Swain, her CV is got a lot of roles in it, but I've not seen any of these movies. She has about 50 films, and I've never seen not a single one of them. Holy crap.
So here we have Sean in bed with obviously Castor's face and Sasha there. And while he's dozing and still under the influence of drugs, he says Eve is his wife's name, and she kind of backs up. And it's like, what? He suddenly awakens, points a gun at her, and she's like, Jesus, Cass, it's me. Don't shoot me, you stupid bastard.
Peak Gina Jason.
Oh,
and
yeah, Gina Gershon.
Does take a while for him to come to his senses. She is absolutely lovely, isn't she?
Yeah, she is.
One.
Definitely one. And she explains a bit of their history together and wants to get a bit cozy with him. But obviously he's a married man and not really interested in that. Meanwhile...
That might be the most unbelievable part of this film, I'm just saying.
Castor receives a call, and it's from Pollux, who's been spying on Sean. He thought he figured out he might drop in on a few of their old friends. And at the moment, he knows exactly where he is. So in comes the FBI, waiting to arrest him, or rather not arrest him, but go crazy and shoot everything.
Yep, and the kid listens to Of the Rainbow with a headset that's not connected to any Walkman or anything like that. It's it must have the player built into the headphones themselves. But how many kids in the Nazis always had these bloody ball cuts though? Every time I watch the movie, it's It's always these same haircuts for some reason.
I'm guessing it was popular in America in the 90s.
Was they
Stick a bowl on someone's head, cut around the bottom of it, done.
the headphones that he was wearing are very similar to a set of radio headphones that I had back in the 80s, where you could like just tune it into the radio on the headset.
Oh, the radio was built into it. That's a novelty.
Yeah. It was it was just like a AM/FM radio, but built into the headset.
Very cool.
But these FBI guys, they're absolutely fucking intent on absolutely nuking this apartment. And little Adam there, who we get introduced to by Sasha earlier, is you find out is Castor Troy's son.
Yeah, and he has this like nervous, this mental breakdown. Is like, Mike. And you can tell he's loses mad a little bit there as well. And even Gina Cherson's kind of like, what the fuck is your deal, mate?
I like how Sean as Castor goes through great pains not to harm any of the FBI agents, but Castor as Sean just doesn't give a shit, and he's ready to kill all of his friends and cohorts.
And the FBI guys, they're just indiscriminately shooting at everything.
That's the FBI.
So like that's the real FBI then.
Yeah, I guess.
Ruby Ridge, anyone?
So explosions going off, everybody running for cover.
Yeah, that old John Woo gun fu. Love it. Just everything is just getting blasted apart, shrapnel going everywhere, and it looks beautiful, especially in slow motion. I mean, I kind of said this about Hard Boiled a few times, but it's like watching a ballet of bullets and blood.
And there's Dietrich there. He's on his way to go get out of there. But unfortunately, Castor's not taking too kindly to his betrayal. And unfortunately, shoots him through the neck.
Yeah. And then he gives his sister one of the hottest kisses in the entire film for some reason.
It is a very odd kiss. It's a Luke and Leia moment for sure.
I mean, it's a Luke and Leia cranked up to 11 moment for sure.
I like the fact that his friend is shot in the neck, and he's actually speaking very clearly. He's not going, "Wow, I've just been shot in the neck."
And Dietrich dies. Now, Sean, not too happy that Castor is here. He's obviously going on a bit of a rampage, but he's getting taunted as they hunt each other down in the second of the film's face-off. And there's a moment where they're both either sides of a double-sided mirror for some reason.
The classic line, let's just kill each other.
Oh, I don't know what I hate wearing worse, your face or your body.
So are we supposed to assume...
I do enjoy boning your wife.
Are we supposed to assume, since they took some of Sean's love handles off, that they put love handles on him? They put them on Castor?
I didn't think of that before. That's disturbing.
No, I want the love handles back on.
Yeah, well, we saw the body's being digitized. He was a bit chonky. Well, if we're going to do it, let's do it properly. And then, gives him a bit of a taunt. I mean, I enjoy boning your wife. So why don't we just trade back? But you can't trade back what you've taken for me. And they go for plan B, where they just kill each other. Whoops, skipped ahead too fast.
The cinematic shot, I mean, if you're just talking about pure cinema, this is fantastic because it's, again... It's a whole mirrored shot with sort of like that perfect dividing line in the middle. What they call the rule of thirds. You separate the screen up into 3 separate areas. Yeah. And it's a perfectly lined up shot.
Plus, from a standpoint of the plot narrative, they're equally looking, they're pointing their guns physically at each other, but they're looking at the images of the person that they actually want to shoot.
Yeah. It's fantastic. When you have a talented director, this is the kind of thing you get.
I just wish his directing
Well, he's
talents
like,
were
he's
consistent.
Asian, isn't he?
True.
Yeah. Plus, he's Asian. There's always like a bit of poetry to the carnage.
And it's John Woo, so there's always gun fu and doves. Lots and lots of doves.
Lots
in
of
everything
doves.
he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, he runs up the stairs and he doesn't have fire on his asses.
Nah, he's fine. He's fine. He jumped into the middle of the ocean and he did okay. I'm sure a little fire is not going to harm him.
I know. I love how he's just swam all that way as well. It's like without struggling.
No problem. Well, they took the love handles off, so he was able to swim a little more, aggressively.
Yeah. I thought the love handles would have helped him float a bit more. That he could use it as a nice little life raft.
And now he just drops in.
Yeah, Pollux decides to chase after him, and unfortunately, gets knocked for a roof. So Sean there manages to catches on to the top of the dome and doesn't plummet to the bottom. Unfortunately, Pollux dies, surrounded by blood. And all Castor can do is look down at his dead brother.
He died as he lived, with his shoes untied.
And then obviously you got this security guard who goes, so why are you upset? It's just Pollux Troy.
Yeah, he just shoots him in the head. It's like,
no.
He goes back to grieving straight away. It's brilliant. So
very upset with that. And obviously shoelaces untied. It's Pollux's signature. He doesn't do it. It's something that Castor did for him at the start of the movie. And has remained such, he just can't tie his shoes. Poor guy. And this is all we've got left. Sad, grieving. He's lost his brother. It's not been a good day. And his boss is none too happy with him either. And he says that after last night's bloodbath, he's terminating his war against terrorists. Castor's a bit pissed off with that. Gets a bit pissed off being talked down to. So he decides to tell him who he really is. And then gives him a bit of a chop, sets his heart off, and he collapses to the floor. Oh no, get a med team in here. I've killed another one. Medic! Kim. Victor Lazaro's had a heart attack.
I don't know if this is a bad time, Agent Archer, but the ballistics report came back, and it seems that your gun actually killed a couple of the FBI agents down there as well.
Whoopsie.
Accidental friendly fire. It happens.
So, calls for the paramedics. He's killed his boss. And tell me who hasn't ever wanted to do that.
No, nothing anyone could admit to and later be convicted of.
Yeah.
And here we are back at the Archer home. And Sean's trying to get in. Gets in the house. And gets confronted by Eve, who sees, well, through her eyes, the man who killed her son. But he tries to convince her. And calms her down a bit. Tells her not to look at his face. Just the voice. And tells her that he's Sean. And the last time I saw you was in this room. We had a fight. And when I said I had to go away, I spent the night in Mike's old bed. And she comes to the realization that maybe this is true. Maybe this is what's happened.
She might have also come to the realization that that's pretty creepy, even if it is true.
So he tells her about the special operations surgeon who swapped the faces over. And somehow he's Castor Troy. And Castor Troy now has his face. And she just can't quite believe it. Very much like the audience. But
he
he
does
gives a
kind of sell
stroke.
it as a guy that's just really going nuts now as well. The fact that he's having to wear the face of this guy who killed his son, and he's just losing it here. He really is.
Yeah.
He is, because he smashes his fist right through the photo to take it out. I think since they swap faces, they've kind of seem to have inherited part of each other's personalities. So he smashes the picture out of the frame and puts it in his pocket, and tells her that his blood group is O negative, but Castor Troy is AB. So all she needs to do is conduct a blood test to find out the real identity of her husband.
I feel pretty confident she's already got a bunch of his DNA at this point.
Well,
yeah,
quite a
keeps it
hefty
nice.
amount.
Keeps it in a nice, warm, safe place, doesn't she?
So Castor comes home, says that she's looking a bit tense, and decides to give her a massage and lets her know that he has been acting strangely recently, and he's got a confession to make. He feels so close to her. He's read her diary. He shouldn't have, but he did, and he wants to be the man that she deserves. Also lets her know that Victor died the day of a heart seizure, which is obviously a bit devastating, but never mind. Get over it quickly. Just means you get a new boss, that's all.
Yeah.
The new boss, same as the old boss.
But while they're in bed that night, and he's asleep, she's got what can only assume is a blood collecting pen.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to feel it, does he? Unless, I don't know, is there some kind of anesthetic on the tip when she injects him? I don't know.
I mean, he does stir mildly, but not by any great extent. So, I mean, that needle looks quite chunky.
I know. I think he should. I don't think staring mildly should be the thing he should be reacting like. He should be like, "Wait, what the fuck are you doing, love? Did you just poke me with that pen?"
So back at the hospital, she does a blood test, runs it through the analyzer, as you do, and comes to the shocking realization that the blood type is AB.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. So the man that's living with her right now is Castor Troy. But her husband's there behind her. He knew that she would do this. He knew that she would test the blood. And
he knew exactly which room she was going to go into as well.
But she's unsure. She's unsure of anything at the moment. She took a gun from him and just keeping it for protection because she's really no clue what's going about. And then he strokes her face, doing the face-off motif that he does so often, and understands that is in fact her husband, and decides to assist him with the gunshot wound that he sustained during the raid.
And now,
Sean and his gang. I don't know how these guys got deputized.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
but they appear to be part of the entourage, and they're heading into the hospital there because obviously he suspects something's up. And searches the ward and uncovers the person that she's working on, just in case it might be the real Sean. He explains it away, thinks, "Oh, I'm getting so jealous." What's he supposed to think when his wife goes off in the middle of the night? Well, she's an on-call doctor. What do you think's going to happen?
Yeah, what's that he says there? Lies, deceit, mistrust. This is turning into a real marriage.
It's all starting to ramp up now.
It is, and here we are at the funeral of the boss who Castor killed. He's obviously died, and now this is his funeral. I believe this was originally going to be a wedding.
It's a slight change in the stakes there.
Yeah, slight change, but the daughter's not going.
Mm.
It's just the two of them. So they head to Lazaro's funeral.
He wasn't well liked, was he? There's not a whole lot of people there. For the director of the FBI, he's not a lot of old people there.
Just the doves. Only
Just the
doves.
doves.
Yeah, it's a John Woo staple. Yeah,
you got the doves. What else do you need?
In walks Sean. Lights a candle. Says a prayer. I think this is the end of this for him. It ends today. One of them has to die today.
Yeah, it's the mano a mano.
It's time for them to have a face-off.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah. That's the name of the movie.
Oh, you like that, do you?
So that's why they call it that.
But Gas has got the drop on him. He's got Eve hostage. And here they are, head to head again.
John Travolta with his excellent Nicolas Cage impression there.
Meanwhile, his daughter's been picked up by one of his stooges and is on the way there. A little bit of extra insurance. And he says, this is between you and me. Leave them out of it. And he says, no, you should have left them out of it yourself. Tries to explain that his son was an accident, didn't want to kill him. And then in comes Sasha. And everybody's pointing guns. Maybe they should have called this standoff.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think he kind of incorporated this from the Westerns, the Mexican standoff, then Tarantino did as well, because he was a big John Woo fan. So
Yeah.
It's another John Woo signature to have someone firing two guns at the same time. So that whole Nicolas Cage crossover arms shooting is very, on brand for John Woo.
Yeah. And completely impractical.
Absolutely. Like jumping out of a plane sideways, shooting two guns at the same time. No aiming needed. Just hit all of the FBI agents.
Yeah. Dual pistols is very impractical as well, because you aren't really aiming, are you? You just fucking spraying bullets all over the place.
You're just throwing rounds downrange. You know what he needed? He needed a shotgun.
But Sean still manages to get both henchmen.
Yeah.
Yep.
So left and right shot with the crossed arms and still managed to get them both.
The recoil on that would be awful as well, because it would just twist both your arms upwards. You just end up smacking yourself on each side of your face.
And as this going off, there are doves everywhere. So Eve comes up.
And here comes Eve with a chair.
The chair! And oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. Looks like Sasha's been caught in the crossfire.
Oh dear. It'll buff out. She'll be fine.
She'll be fine.
Yeah.
They could just reconstruct her like they did in the for the cop who lost his ear.
Yeah.
No one's ever really gone.
Yeah.
And she tells him, take care of our boy. You love him so much. And don't let him grow up like us.
Don't let him become a showgirl either. That's important.
And here we're coming to the last but one face-off between the two of them. The gunfight ensues, and they head towards the out of the church. And then we get a scene where his daughter Jamie has a gun on them both, unsure about who to kill as they struggle for dominance here.
Kill us both, Spock. Kill us both.
No daughter of mine would shoot so wide. And demands that she put the gun down, and he put his gun down. And away we go.
Creepy lick.
And then does, the creepy Peaches lick on her face, which is probably one of the most disturbing parts of this film.
Well,
Technically, as far as she's concerned, that's her dad.
I know. I know. It's like,
and worse,
then.
It was ad-libbed by John Travolta too, so it made it even worse.
Oh wow! Eve obviously horrified. Eve horrified that her daughter has been taken hostage, but thankfully she had the foresight to bring the knife and stabs him in the thigh, twists it, and gets away.
Yeah, these two guys were 2 weeks from retirement as well, so it was sad.
I was looking at that screen, just going, "Which bit of the movie is this?" It's sort of like, "Oh yeah, they just get shot." It was just goes past so quickly.
So they head towards the marina, and they both grab a speedboat. I've gone over a bit. I think I missed a batch.
This poor guy.
There we go.
This poor guy was just working on the boat. He didn't deserve that. That was too much.
Because what this movie needs right now is a boat chase.
Gotta love a good boat chase. We don't have enough of them.
You don't get enough good boat chases. I think the last
it's real as well, which is brilliant. I mean, practical effects, everything, real explosions, no green screen, real stuntmen doing real stunts here. It just makes the action feel more immersive.
Yeah, this was originally supposed to be in Hard Target, and they couldn't use it, so they put it in this.
No, just look at that. It's brilliant. Just blow up a building for the sake of it.
It makes me really wonder about these boats because, I mean, they just hit something and just explode in a massive ball of flames as if a petrol tanker has gone up. I mean, how much fuel is in those engines?
Apparently a lot.
Mm.
Yeah, I think 21 Jump Street did a very good sort of spoof on that as well, where they just things are leaking, but it never explodes. Then they suddenly hit like a truck full of hay, and that suddenly explodes for no reason.
So the boat chase coming to an end now as they fire on each other constantly, perforates a shitload of police in what is the longest boat chase put to screen. Although I think one of my favourite boat chases is probably one of the Bond ones.
I'd probably say Indiana Jones' Last Crusade, but that would be nitpicky.
Some dead cops. Anyway, Sean jumps on Castor's boat after he loses his.
And then everything explodes.
Yeah, everything is flammable for some reason.
It's a classic 90s trope.
I just love the way he skates across the water with his feet out. Like it's actually water skiing. That was quite amusing. At
a high enough speed, you can actually do that, but it has to be very fast and you have to have something on your feet so you don't rip the skin off your feet, off your soles.
Now, this boat is traveling at high speed and there's nobody at the controls because they're both fighting each other on the front of the boat with Sean trying to smack him with a harpoon gun and Castor trying to smash his face in with an anchor. And the boat swerves wildly out of control and sends them both flying through the air. Quite possibly one of the best stills of the show.
These are not them. You've captured their stunt doubles.
With their high-octane speedboat going up in a glorious explosion.
It does look good.
I do like that shot as well. I mean, they just practically put these two men on the fucking spring and shot them in the air. I love it.
And again, very little CGI. It's all practical effects.
And they're both out of the boat on the sand, beating the living crap out of each other.
It's just a long fight. The thing about this is they're so evenly matched all the way through. All the times they face off, they're just it's like, you know, the perfect mirror idea. So they're always perfectly matched. So this,
it's like the unstoppable force meets the immovable object.
Yeah, in theory, if they weren't injured, this fight would just go on forever.
Like the chicken fight in Family Guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, while they're fighting, Sean sees the harpoon gun, and it's the chance to get the upper hand. So he grabs hold of that and stabs it in him. Fantastic.
So he's now got two holes. One from the knife and one from the harpoon.
But Castor grabs the harpoon gun and tries to stop it from firing. Obviously, he is defeated at this point, grabbing on tight so the harpoon gun doesn't go anywhere, and decides to go full psychopath at this moment and grabs a shard of glass and starts cutting his face off.
But strangely not anywhere that would do any damage to getting the face back. Just goes along the incision lines down at the side.
Now, obviously, they can clear that up with the technology that they have.
Yeah, it's fine.
So, I'm sure it can be fine. It's like getting injured with a lightsaber in any Star Wars TV series. It doesn't last very long. You'll be up and about in no time at all.
'Tis but a flesh wound.
So a nice swift kick to the nads. He releases his grip and he gets shot. And finally, this evil psychopath gets his just desserts.
Ready for the big ride, baby. Yeah, great final words before his death as well.
I banged your wife.
And the police arrive, and they realise that he is Archer, and they say, "All right, sir," and cart him off. With Eve going, "They've got a top surgical team from DC. You're gonna be okay."
Even though the entirety of the building, the Walsh Institute, was destroyed.
Yeah.
Hopefully they had backup of all the notes.
And at no point did he say, "Could you make my knob a little bit bigger and perhaps not put back the belly fat?"
Yeah. Can I keep the abs the way they are?
Yeah, no. they're a bit more defined here, and well, perhaps move the cleft from the chin. And he goes over to Castor Troy and gets his ring back. He's back to being Sean Archer once more, with his evil nemesis finally defeated.
Yeah, they actually put him in the same fucking ambulance with the guy that he killed. I was like, oh, wow. He has to get the ring back. I know. Okay. A little bit of dramatic licensing, but...
Yeah. So he's back in the medical facility, having the process reversed. I don't know how they got the same computers and software.
Injected him with a little bit of fat around the midsection.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably just gave him a shitload of beer and a lot of kebabs as well to, wolf down to get that bloody belly.
Works for mine.
And this is where Archer is told that it'll be fully restored, and make sure that he puts the scar back where he got the bullet wound. He wants that reminder back.
Luckily, this is the 90s, because otherwise the Doge budget cuts would have been like, no, that's unnecessary.
Unnecessary cosmetic surgery.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
And
we will turn you into a woman if you want, though. But that no.
So Eve's at home doing her some work, and she hears a noise from outside and the approaching footsteps of Sean, and he's back to his handsome, rugged, good self, with all the fat included. But the way he comes around the door, though, was the same way that Castor Troy came around the door when he entered the home, which is a quite interesting parallel.
And even better, he's brought a guest.
He has. She's so pleased to see him. I've got a surprise for you. Yeah. Is it a puppy?
Yeah, technically,
yes.
Have you got us a puppy?
So you know how we have that tragedy with our son being dead. Well, guess what? I got us another kid.
I know it's 5 years later, but
so they're all one big happy family again. So wow.
Did he tell this kid to wait outside of frame until
stay out the way, stay out there until I've said hello, and then I'll invite you in.
If you're adopting somebody, don't both parents have to like sign up to this?
Oh, I know someone who's gone through adoption. There is so much paperwork to do and psychological evaluations and everything. It's insane.
Yeah, I feel pretty confident he did not go the
official,
regular official.
Yeah,
I'm fairly confident that this is some form of human trafficking happening here.
Yeah.
So yes, he introduces Adam.
Yeah, who does not look happy to be there until the hot big sister shows up.
And at no point do his family go, "What the fuck, Dad? I got another kid. Where'd you get him? I found him.
I killed his real dad."
Yeah.
And his mom, front of kind of.
Yeah, and I got his mom killed. So, but
and his uncle, and his other uncle.
All well ends well.
I feel pretty confident that this may have been like a frequent happening of him just bringing random kids home, orphan children of the people he murders in the underworld, just bringing them home. And this was the first one that they liked. This was the first one they were like, okay.
I've got a funny feeling that his daughter isn't really his either.
Oh,
he picked her up on a previous case. If they ever do a sequel to this, which has been rumored on many occasions, I'm expecting him to pick up a third child.
Yeah. It'll be one of color though, or a transgender child.
Yeah. It's got to tick those boxes, don't they? The diversity, adoption quotas. Regulation.
So they get introduced to Adam, and Eve's face just looks like, the hell?
She looks like she's seen this one too many times. She's like, Sean, I told you about bringing home random orphan children.
Hey, Sean, it's the third one this week. Put it outside with the others.
But this is a white one though, Eve. I got a white one this time. Oh well, that's all right then.
But you could do beatboxing.
And she goes, "Hi, my name's Jamie. I'm your new sister. I'm going to do weird things on your face." And Adam seems okay with this.
Yeah. I sometimes get.
Yeah, I'm going to teach you. I'm your sister. I'm going to teach you how to stab a guy in the leg and twist it.
I like to walk around in my panties a lot, smoking, and I sometimes get caught in the dryer. And you have to come help me, step bro.
And that's the end of it. They kiss. And that's the movie over with.
Brilliant.
Fantastic.
And that was Face Off.
Good manless fun. Good manless fun.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the rewatch. As I said, I didn't actually get to see this film at the cinema. I got to see it with the missus on a bit of a binge night. I really enjoy this. I've had it on VHS and DVD. Watched it numerous times, and if it's on, I'm not going to turn it off. Same for Con Air and The Rock. Anytime any of those three are on, I got to watch it. Nicolas Cage's performance in this is absolutely electric, and him and John Travolta have got some real chemistry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. And I'd appreciate the scores and the doors from you guys.
I
give it a good.
Go on, you go.
Yeah, let John Travolta help desk answer first. Sorry about that.
You go.
One of you can go.
Mr. Bastard, you go. You're the guest.
Okay, then I will go maybe 9 out of 10. Because I mean, yeah, there is some moments. There are a few plot holes, but overall, it's just a fun movie. And even though the plot itself is actually quite dark, I mean, there's some dark moments with, especially with the fact that the wife is pretty much shagging the guy who killed their son and not realizing it. But it's got some good twists as well, where the kind of switch roles. I mean, not just physically, but socially as well. Like Travolta's character has to sort of like delve into the world of being this psychotic, while the psychotic has to delve in this world of being a domesticated family guy, a normal guy, a father, everything. And it's a good little sort of like great little setup. And once again, the action is fucking brilliant. I mean, real explosions, real squibs, real pyrotechnics, real thick blood, real stuntmen doing this job, no CGI.
Yeah, definitely. And you can tell the difference between a CGI-laden movie and this.
I know. Yeah, because practical stuff is there. It's physically there. We can naturally see it with our eyes. We've somehow naturally trained ourselves to spot CGI.
It is. I think even modern movies, CGI seems to have gone backwards rather than forwards. I'm finding that movies that had CGI from 10, 15 years ago are higher quality and higher believability than what we see today. And today's CGI just does look out of place and synthetic, especially when you've got action films. I don't know if you guys watched the recent Daredevil series. When he's jumping all over rooftops, it looks fake as fuck.
Yeah. A lot of the CGI today relies on the fact that there are no sets and there are no costumes and people are just wearing these mocap suits. And the entire thing is then just sent off to, a load of painters who paint in a background and costumes and everything. So when the actors are acting it, there's no heart and soul in it because they're not actually there doing it. They have no idea what they're up against. When you go back to this, Ashton Prism says it right. There was no green screen. It was so practical. I give this a fantastic 8 out of 10. It's nice. I mean, the believability you have to push it to the side, especially with things like the face transplant. But this was originally set to be made in the future, set in the future to justify the whole face transplant thing. But as the script went through development, they realized that doing it all future tech was going to be too expensive. So they trimmed all that out and just made it ever so slightly in the future. So which made it slightly less believable, a lot more believable than it could have been.
Yeah, and with recent innovations in the medical field, these sort of things are looking ever more likely. Yeah. I'm sure that there will come a day where a face transplant, although it has been done before, I believe in 2012, when a guy actually put a shotgun to his face and it went off and they had to rebuild it. But I think full face transplants are probably going to be less than 20 years away, and we are going to see this thing for real.
Did you know, originally, Archer and Troy were going to be played by Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone? Thought I'd just chuck that one in there.
I did know that, yes.
It's really creepy. It would have been.
It would have been weird because they originally wanted those two were in mind to play the lead roles. And when John Woo was brought in, he decided that John Travolta and Nicolas Cage would be better suited for it. But they also considered Michael Douglas, who ended up being executive producer.
Oh, and Johnny Depp as well at one point.
Oh my God!
Yeah, Archer would have been Johnny Depp. That would have been different.
It most certainly would.
Sorry, Lord Toxic, over to you for your scores.
Yeah, no, for nostalgic quality, if nothing else, and the fact that I too will not turn this movie on if it pops up somewhere. It's got to get a good 9 out of 10. This is one of those movies that should not work, but it does for some reason. The whole premise sounds like something from mid 90s sci-fi channel realm, but I guess it's just due to the fact that Cage and Travolta elevate things so much that, you know, it's become the classic that it is. And of course, John Woo, and it's a John Woo porn type film. So yeah, no, 9 out of 10 for sure.
Fantastic.
Well, that's the scores and the doors, and thank you everybody for tuning in, and thank you to our guests on the panel today, which we've got the John Travolta Help Desk. Thank you for joining me.
Oh, it's been absolutely fantastic. I love this movie. I like, you know, these classic Mondays where we get to look back on all that stuff. I'm looking forward to doing a lot more of them in the future. And thank you, chat, for your fantastic scores and just kind of being there. And you're all awesome. If you're watching this on the Rebrub, like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And it's have a very good night from me.
And Northern English.
Yes, thanks for joining us, you beautiful bastards, and I will catch you all later, but right now I'm off to the pub.
And finally, from our last guest, Toxic Lord.
Yes, happy Cinco de Mayo to everybody, and please remember to eat and drink responsibly, and don't get out on the road, else you might need yourself to have a face transplant.
Exactly right. Well, thank you very much for joining us today, everybody. Thanks to the chat, and we'll be back on for Fubar Friday, so keep a lookout for the links to that. In the meantime, I'll wish you all a good night.